Okay, today is February 23rd, 2014. I thought I'd go and look at a few stock, in the mining and the precious metal sector, and also a couple of the ETF. Then we'll take a look at, a couple of the stock in the 3D printer sector. So, keeping with the theme of my last video that I put out on the market using the weekly price chart, gonna focus on looking at the weekly price chart on these stock and ETF. And the one of the reason is especially on a ETF like GLD that we getting daily gap up and down. You look at this daily price chart, it's really kind of messy and a little bit difficult to identify, clearly identify trends and pivot level. It's not that one cannot do it. It just take a little bit more effort. And also, a lot of time we miss some of the subtle price action and price pattern that might not be so apparent, in the daily price chart than, in the weekly. So, for example, you look at gold here, we could see that, there is this sort of like a big double bottom here with this pivot somewhere around this 137 level. And there's a little bit trend line here. You can see this, pivot breakpoint here as well. But also coincidentally, if we take a look at this right here, you can see that if I zoom in here, you can see this is actually sort of like an inside day type of pattern. This is 2250, 2251, so just 1 penny about that. So it's kind of get a little bit of a fake, but the thing is, if you take a look at this and putting a little bit of a breakout, point here, then you can see that actually it kind of gapped up on this little breakout, and right now it's working itself up to maybe possibly tagging this resistance near this 132, and then if it break this pivot on this double bottom here, essentially this big double bottom. Or you could call it a multi-bottom, but we count this as one pivot level here. So you can see that certainly there are a lot of potential upside here if gold break about this level somewhere around 137.50. Then the next level of resistance we'd be talking about maybe possibly 148. And that, once we break this pivot, then a lot of people are going to be talking about $1,400 on the gold again. And that could bring a lot of those, bearish type of trader come back in on gold. And if we take a look at the GDX, which is the minor ETF, again, you can see that, here's a little bit of a, resistance level here that when it gone to, went to that particular level, you see that, breakout right here and then peeling a little flag here right prior to this little breakout, and right now it's kind of sitting here at this particular level here. You could say that maybe it's this forming if we get a little pullback at inverted head and shoulder, but in regardless if it's going to break above this level, we could possibly talking about this GDX might be coming up here and possibly fill this particular gap here. So those are the stuff that on a weekly chart that is apparent that it might not be so apparent on the daily. So you can see on the daily here, yeah, you might be able to looking at this here as a low resistance and then get up here on this 31 and change as the next potential resistance here. Right? So, but again, if we do this, let me do this here, right? Then you probably could look at this right here. Even that, you might not be able to see the potential of forming a head and shoulder pattern. But if we look at on a weekly, you could certainly could make a case that if it get up here and let's say pull back a little bit, before it go up, then we might get this little bit of a inverted head and shoulder pattern and get up to this particular gap here and fill this gap. And then also looking at the junior gold miner is pretty much similar type of price action. You see here break above this resistance, and right now it's kind of broke through here and coming back, maybe possibly testing this particular support level at this 42. And once again, might be looking at this 50 level, somewhere around the 50, 53 for the potential resistance up here, and set up to might get up here and fill this gap near the 55. Looking at silver, also, silver was kind of lagging the gold for a little bit. But if you look at this, finally booked you here on this pivot, and you can see that the multi-bottom kind of forming over here. And if you take a look at this basically this low here on, and it got a nice little hammer candle, and it push it back up here and get up there, building this resistance here. Once again, we could see it come up and maybe settle a band. But the thing is, if it come up and break this level here, come in and fill this gap, coming back somewhere around the 24, and then build, fill this gap near that 26, then all of a sudden you got people be chasing silver once again. Right? So let's look at a couple of the mining stocks. First, look at Barrick Gold. You can see that it came off of the bottom and came up here, encountered some resistance, and it pulled back. Right now, it's coming back up and try to break this this level right now with the somewhere around 2150 area here. So you can see that's there's a potential breakout and come up and fill this gap here. If it does, then we probably be looking at somewhere around this 30 and possibly get up to this 31 level. So these are the stuff that one could see on the weekly. It might not be so apparent on the daily. So you could go back and take a look at some of these stock on a daily price chart and then see, some of these price action, kind of referring back from what you see on the weekly here. You see this, we do have a little bit of a sort of a hammer doji, take a little hangman up here. So maybe we will get a little bit pullback next week, and that might present a nice dip opportunity to consider looking for some long setup on this pullback. So, and then the other one is, see, I mentioned this gold field a while back when it was down here, and you can see that break is a little bit of a low price type of stock, but it doesn't matter what the price is of the stock. If there's some action and there's liquidity, you basically, size your position accordingly to your according to your risk anyway. So it really doesn't matter what the price is as long as there is, good liquidity on this, trade on the stock. I mean, so you can see that this kind of bumping up here, got a little bit of a pullback inside bar on this weekly price pattern here. So if it break back above this particular candle, the high of this thing, that could be another possibility of, looking at the possibility of a swing long, and maybe get it back up, to this particular pivot level here, somewhere around the 486, and then work itself up to the 650 level eventually, because you see this little, of a trend line coming down. It kind of broke this trend, and you see here is the break, the break about this particular breakout. Right? Okay, and right now it's coming up to this area here, so maybe it could get up to this 5 and then 650. Okay. So, and the other one that we want to look at, maybe we'll look at some of these like Freeport. Okay, you look at Freeport here. You see this little candle here, this hammer candle, right? And then the snapback. We talked about that on the last video. Okay. So it's coming back up to maybe try to break about this particular pivot. And if it does, we could see the potential of coming back up to this 38 level. Okay, so let's take a look at a couple of the 3D printer. It's been kind of got hit recently. You see 3D system, kind of got hit. I believe this is something got to do with the earning, and it came down. It's got a little bit of a dip down to this somewhere around below this 55, somewhere in the 54th 70 area, and then it bounced right back at this little inside day here, and now it seems to be popping back up. Right, so there might be a possibility of working itself back up to the previous high, because certainly the snapback and the price action that is snapback on the upside, fairly quickly, that kind of tell you that there is a lot of conviction on the long side here. So we take a look at the the daily. You can see this snapback. Once it dipped down here, it just come in and fill up this earning gap pretty quickly. And right now, it seems to be bumping up against this little resistance on the pivot. So if it could clean, break out of this above this pivot level cleanly, then we'll probably be looking at the possibility of 3D making back up to this 97 level. Then here's the ONVO. Again, we see some of these inside bar price action here. You can see, right, right here, you see these inside bar action kind of coiling. Right, here's a little bit, you can see this is basically like an indecision doji, or just a spinning top type of weekly candle. And then you see this particular, hammer-like candle, inside bar hammer-like. Then it come up, then bump up to this particular level here, try to break out of this inside bar engulfing candle. Right now, it's kind of tried to do that last week. So if we get a close above this particular level, somewhere around 1050, I believe, then there might be a possibility of swing it up to this particular pivot here, and then eventually get up to this 1360, somewhere around that particular level. Then the other one, we'll look at, I think VJet is fairly new. It's an IPO. You can see, again, here's the inside candle here. Right, so you might want to keep an eye on that. Right, although it's still relatively new, but got a little bit of a trend here. Not enough data to actually give us enough of a trading pattern, but look at this price action. There might be some possibility. And if we take a closer look at the daily, essentially we're looking at this little bit pattern here. Right? So it's kind of coiling up, and you can see that maybe this right here, right? So it's getting up to and break this pattern and possibly work itself back up to this. What's that? 48 somewhere. Yeah. So it's about 48. 47 and change. Okay. And the other one is X1 system. Let's take a look at X1. Once again, we see this candle kind of pulling back here, got this inside bar, right? And then right now got this little bit of a doji trying to break above this this particular level here. So, and who knows, right? If it break, it might get back up to this 50 and possibly work itself back up to the 70. So those are the stock that you might be interested in go and look at. Maybe study a little bit more on the daily price chart, but certainly on the weekly, it kind of shows some pretty positive price action that might present some potential swing long in the near future. So good luck with the trading next week.